Shut up and sit down.
Good morning, fellow bags of mostly water. I'm Kitecraft of the Happy Hobbyer. Going to be taking you through another session with my HardSense project. We can have a good look at it right up here. One of these days I'll actually get my finger pointing in the right direction. So for you recurring viewers, welcome back, nice to see you. We left off yesterday as a quick recap. I built my splash screen, which was really cool, and then I went chasing a bug in the configuration screen, the Bluetooth configurator screen, because when we did the update of the text, it just garbled it, and there was something weird going with the font, and I sort of figured out what's going on there, and I have a potential fix for it, but and I'll talk about that later. As for you new viewers, welcome. What we're looking at for HardSense is a two-part project. There is, of course, a Windows program that runs on my computer, or your computer, or anybody's computer. Come on. There it is. What this program here does, and we'll take a look at it in more depth, is it sets up reading all of the sensors that are available on your computer from the GPUs or from the CPU load and its temperatures to the power usage of the CPUs, like its wattages. We have GPU temperatures, we have hard drive usages, fan speeds, all sorts of things. In fact, in my computer, it's now detecting 76 sensors. I just rebooted after an update, and now I've got 76 sensors. You might notice in the last episode, this was saying 72 sensors. There's also frame rate sensors, CPU, as well as network sensors for up and down speeds. And then, of course, there is the fun part, and that's this bit. Try and get my right cameras going here. I don't even think I was actually on the right camera when I was showing you this application. So this is the main HardSense application. It sets up that monitor for all your sensors, and then it sets up a TCP server that clients can connect to and request a list of sensors and then say, okay, send me data for these specific sensors. It can actually say, I just want only data on these sensors. And that's how this little application works on HardSense, which is the ESP32 application. Now this is going to be a completely wireless system. Right now it's actually running simply on power, but it's using Wi-Fi, connecting to the network over Wi-Fi to this HardSense Windows server, and it's streaming all of the sensor data. So we have CPU data, loads, temperatures, the current date and time is actually coming from this real-time clock system. So the date and time isn't actually coming from, why am I getting all stuffed up? Isn't coming from the computer, it's coming from its own real-time clock. RAM, the network speeds, I have a bunch of cameras that are IP cameras over the web or over the network, and they're streaming data to my machine, and that's why you see the download speed is so high, 15 megabytes a second. This is also a touch screen, so I can touch that and go into my game screen. This is what I call my game screen. I want to pay attention to different information when I'm playing a video game. So here we have a 90-second graph of the fan and temperatures. Down there we have some core memory shader clock speeds, a built-in FPS counter, a small little CPU box because I still want to know what my CPU is doing. Up here, this is actually the video card RAM, not the system RAM, but the video card's RAM. 1.1 right now is about default. Some games will suck it up to about 8 gigabytes of usage, and then of course our core usage. But if we go back to the home screen, just click in the bottom right corner, we can go into a core monitor. This is my CPU core monitor. It breaks down, this is a hex core, hyper-threaded hex core, so technically 12 processors, but 6 cores, and it's streaming all of that data, and it's all coming from, there we go, this application. So some of these things that I want to show you for where we left off yesterday is their wonderful splash screen. So when we reboot it, there's our splash screen. Oh, I love that thing. It's so fast and beautiful, and it works well. If we hold down the little Bluetooth, this button, and on startup, it'll kick into our Bluetooth configurator mode. And you'll see this is all the data that it has stored locally. Now there is still a bit of a bug on this screen, and I'll show you what's going to happen with this bug. If we switch over to my desktop view, go to Settings, Bluetooth Configurator, we connect to it. Okay, so now it's connected. You can see it's updated all of the local information, so we know it's connected. But I'm going to change the server to bobbiness and the port to 6548. We'll click Update Info. Now, what we should see here is the Bluetooth configurator, this box here, will actually send the new data to the ESP32, wait for an ACK saying it successfully saved it, and then it'll re-request this information and get an update from it, or the whole thing will just crash on me. Why did you crash? Well, that's not good. Let's go back into Bluetooth mode. Anyways, there is a certain set of actions. One of those actions will finally kick off the update on this screen, and you'll notice that there's an odd little problem when I do this. So, oh, wait a minute, it just rebooted. I have to reconnect. There we go. View bobbiness, and then 6543. Do an update server. Now, you notice all the text on the display just went small. Now, previously, it would go all bananas. You couldn't read it. It became totally corrupted. At least now I have it doing this. The problem is that the bug is actually coming from the fact that the display manager gets its fonts from the SPIFFS file system. So all of those fonts that it uses, all of the fonts that the display manager uses inside its own little class are from the file system. So when it starts up, if we have a look at some code here, whoops, desktop. If we look at the screen base, so every class has its own screen base. They're all based off of this class. And one of the things it does during its own little constructor bits is SPIFFS begin. And this is where we actually do some font loadings. In fact, right down here, we have to load our own fonts. Now, the HS serial class, when we do this update over the Bluetooth configurator, it actually grabs its own little SPIFFS handle, updates the files, saves the data, and then lets go of it. But that's actually corrupting this handle, and it's causing this little crash that's going on. So that's a whole bug that we got to deal with. But I'm not going to deal with it right now. Anyways, we're dealing with branch 17. So if you go to my GitHub repository right here, github.com/kitecraft, you will see the HardSense project. This session today, episode 4, is actually based on branch 17. If you have a look down here, add device ID option. That's what we're going to be working on today. This is this is the last of the configuration options I need before taking this thing into full OTA or over-the-air updates. If you've been watching the previous sessions, you'll know that the serial object, the one that handles all of the Wi-Fi data or the Bluetooth data, actually hard codes certain device information. For example, right here, when the Wi-Fi system starts up, it sets the host name to HardSenseESP. That's hard coded, can't change it. In the Bluetooth manager, where is it? Handle Bluetooth connection. It does the same thing. BT serial begin HardSenseESP1. So I want to make these configurable. What that means is I'm going to go over here into my data folder to the hardsense.txt, and I'm going to add a couple options to this for Wi-Fi ID, DID equals HardSenseESP. And I'm going to create a separate Bluetooth device ID and call that HardSense as well. But it can be different, but I'm going to make them both the same. So save that. I should get my device back connected to my server. Hang on. So let's put this back into Bluetooth mode, figure out why it's crashing. Settings. Now connect with this, settings, Bluetooth, connect. Change this to ARIE and port 4121. Do the update. Okay, so good. Yep. Now, so I'm doing a reload of the fonts, but it actually goes to the default font that's in the ESP, Modmer's TFT ESPI library has a default font. Because the update is lost the fonts that it had in the handle to the file system when the HS serial object did its write of that data. It's a little messed up. What I can do though is I can actually just create a widget at runtime, which will actually grab its own fresh handle. I can use that widget to paste the content and then just delete the widget. And if I do that during every update, it's a little more expensive at runtime, but this doesn't take a lot of data to update it, but it will actually fix the problem, except for the clock. Yeah, I won't be able to fix the clock that way. That'll suck. Anyways, what we need to do now is I want to add options for the device ID. So I guess the first thing we want to do is they're in the configuration file. Now I need to add them into my settings object. So in the HS file system, .h, we have this settings structure. And I'm going to add two more for Wi-Fi DID and BT DID. What do we got here? Wi-Fi DID and Bluetooth DID. Okay, good. Get settings. Now let's go mess with that one. Okay, so we'll pop over here. If it's Wi-Fi DID, then I want to do this one for both of these. And BT DID, this is the key I want to use. If that's the key, then I want to copy it over to, what was the variable names? Wi-Fi DID. And Bluetooth DID. Okay, that puts those values in there. That's good. Now what do I want to do here? I need to add a couple more to the save file. We got to take that again from there. Paste that there, equals %s, new line, equals %s, new line, and then back here, new settings dot, what am I looking for? Wi-Fi DID, and new settings dot BT DID. That should take care of the save, right? Server port equals an I, server name is a string, \n Wi-Fi DID equals, yep, BT DID equals. So that should save all of that now. That's a done deal. Now let's pop back over to the serial object, and here, we better change that to 1. I don't want to mess anything up. I gotta make sure I use the same key there. So the Bluetooth ID is 1, and the HardSense. Okay, so I'm going to change this to. I'm just going to comment that out. Change this to my. Oops. Where's my settings file? settings.btid. And then down here in Wi-Fi connection, change this host name to HardSense settings dot Wi-Fi, and that should take care of that. Hey, I noticed this thing hasn't crashed. Interesting. Interesting. So let's see, that's changed. This is going to add a configuration option. So now this will crash if I don't upload. The first thing I got to do is upload my new text file, my new data file. Okay, now coming to my first complaint about VS Code. I'm no expert in anything, I'll tell you that right now. Everything I do is I've learned myself. I'm using VS Code now because I used to use Visual Micro in Visual Studio, and we're going to be using Visual Studio later as part of this, adding the device ID configuration to the remote settings. But Visual Micro, after one update, they actually sort of changed the way their trial license works. Instead of having just a pared down version that was slightly hobbled and good enough, it was still better than using VS Code. It became just a 30-day flat-out trial, and which I'd exceeded, so I can't actually use Visual Micro anymore. It was really sad that I can't continue with it. The new license for 1 year is about $26, $27, and that's about $140 more than I can spend. So I'm using VS Code with the Arduino extensions and plugins and whatever, and I don't like it. It's slow. There's no the debugging. I haven't even tried to use the debugger, but in Visual Studio, it's just a built-in debugger. You just debug it like you normally debug. It's wonderful. Here, I don't know what the hell's going on. So I've gone back to my serial.print lines. Another thing is I can't figure out how to get the ESP32 file system. You should be able to do this tool upload, but I can't actually find where that option is. So I have to go back to the traditional Arduino IDE. Wait for it to open. Wait for it to open. Come on now. You can do it. There we go. And now, just make sure that I'm in the right folder system. What do I do? Shift K or something? No. Alt K? Something with a K. I gotta view my file system folder. Control K. Yeah, so I'm in the right folder. Good. Now, sorry, I'll bring that back there. I got to go to Tools. So this, you see this ESP32 sketch data upload? That will upload any data, all the data or all the folders that are in your data folder. Yeah, I know it's a little odd to explain. Some of the languages in this can be a little weird. So if we're looking at the root of our ESP32 project, HardSenseESP, right here. So this is your I&O. This is what you would normally open in Arduino, or this is your core Arduino sketch. And then of course you have your source directory where you've got all your other stuff going on. Now this data folder for ESP32s and ESP8266s as well, they all have a SPIFFS file system. You can upload everything that's in here on there. And my project is actually using all of these files plus a touch calibration file that it writes to itself. So when I upload this, it'll delete all the existing files and replace them with this. So we'll have to go through the Bluetooth configuration screen again, as well as a touch calibration, and it's all a lot of fun. So watch what's going to happen. But I can't figure out how to do that through VS Code. VS Code is free, of course, but you know what? Visual Micro is worth it, and a little bit later you'll see why it's even more worth it. It's an awesome, but I don't get paid by anybody. This is my own opinion. Okay, so let's do this upload here. Tools, ESP upload. Okay, whoa. Oh! Got to plug this thing in, right? Always helps to have it plugged in. So I got to make sure that my USB cable's plugged in. So before I do that, all right. There we go. Okay, let's do the whole upload process with the tool again. Sketch upload. Okay, now press the button. Alright, off it goes. So it's updating the all the files, it's done, it's reset. Good, so we're done with that. Now you'll notice, let's put that over here. This is now asking me to recalibrate the touch screen because it saves this as a file. This is actually from one of Bodmer's examples. Whoa, whoops. I just nailed my camera stand with my table, sorry, or with my chair. One of the examples, and so this is using Bodmer's TFT_ESPI library. You can find it a link in the description. And he has a calibration example, so I basically just reuse that. It's wonderful, it works well. Let's hit it. 1, 2, oops, up here, and down here. There. Now, it's going to go ahead and just try and join, but those files are empty, so you can see there's nothing happening there, and it's just going to sit there and spin. So I'm going to press the Bluetooth button and reboot it. Now we're in the Bluetooth configuration, and I still got a bug on that password screen. That password should just be blank. And I got a bit of a bug on the overlay there, but that's okay. We'll deal with that in a second. Okay, so we need to go back to here, and we're going to just update all of those settings. So we're going to connect on port 7. Maybe. Huh. Oh, rescan. Maybe there's no more. Did I change the device settings? Hang on. I wonder if I did a bad thing there. Where's my Bluetooth? Let's connect to the serial monitor. I'm going to hold the button down as it reboots. Oops. Hold the button down as it reboots. Starting Bluetooth. SSID is empty. Yeah, okay. I'm just checking to see what's going on here. It should have connected with this if it was available on that handle, but it's not, so that leads me to think something is wrong. Yeah. Okay. But it's, why is it still picking up port 7 then? So HardSense is not connected. Okay, well, let's do something real quick. Where did it go? Bluetooth. Why is there a timeout there? Oh, yeah, that's why. I'm just going to do this. Serial dot print. Bluetooth connection. Not a print line, just a print. Serial dot print. Bluetooth DID. Serial dot print line. Put the ending thing in there. Good. Now let's just see what's going to happen. It should be called HardSense 1, but it didn't seem to actually pair, and I don't know why. That's weird. We also need to add a new field onto this screen to get it to display. And then eventually we're going to add a new option to this Bluetooth configurator. We'll add a new box down here to set that device ID from here. So the next time it restarts, we'll be able to have a new ID. I might want to put a multiple of these on a single network, and I'm going to have to call them different things, like multiple computers, multiple displays. What's happening here? Oh yeah, it's building. This is the other thing about VS Code. It takes forever to build. Oh, come on now. You can do it. I know you can. There we go. And I gotta push the button. Of course I do. Okay, we'll let that load. Now let's see here. We gotta go into Bluetooth mode. Push the button as it boots. Okay, so the Bluetooth connection is being set correctly. Good, good, good. You can see right here. But why isn't it being able to get picked up here? Weird. It should be right on that port, 7. It's always been on 7. I'm just checking here, yeah. Standard serial over Bluetooth is 7. Well, it's not, it can't be 5. See, nothing. It's not 5. If it was 5, I wouldn't have done that. But everything else says it is connecting. Well, you know what? I'm just going to make a quick change and just do that. But it says HardSense, so I know that string is there. It can get picky at times. Why am I back on the... Did it crash? Am I back on the screen because it crashed? No, because I did the rebuild. Yeah, that's interesting. Just going to see if this actually changes it, but it's definitely picking up the right string. So I need to go to my Wi-Fi and just make sure I update that as well. Where is my Wi-Fi? Oh, it is so slow. It takes forever to just build. Come on now, be nice to me. Yeah, I love this splash screen though that I made yesterday. I really do. It's so cool. Okay, we got her connecting. Will it connect automatically? Hey, it did too. That's interesting. I think maybe it's because the terminal is connected at the same time. Weird. Okay. So we should still be good. Yeah. Now that's, why is that printing SSID? Do I have a stray print statement in here somewhere? Where's my Bluetooth configurator screen? Global definitions, display handler, GUI, whoops, GUI. Control F, serial.print. Yes, I do. Let's get rid of that. Do I have another one in there? Yes, I got those. Get rid of those. Just some stray print line statements that really shouldn't be hanging around. But that works. So let's just see if the configurator is going to connect this time. Okay, it did. Good. ARIE 4121. This will be a quick test. Yes. Good. So this is star side. Sorry, I have to go find my password. Ba-dum. Toss a coin to your streamer, oh valley of plenty. Oh, ho, ho. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're looking for a particular password. Where'd it go? There it is. We'll paste that in here. Update that. There we go. And if we have a look on our device, we can see that, yeah, it's definitely updated the right text. Now, yeah, the font is weird. I know. I'm living with that. At least I can see what it says and it actually worked. So I can go back to my desktop and I'm going to exit this. Now, I think I'm already going to have a problem connecting to the Wi-Fi for the same reason that I wasn't connecting there. So I need to go find my handle Wi-Fi connection. And yeah, I just want to string that bean. No, maybe not. This one should actually work. So when I reboot this, it should just pop right in. Fantastico! So it is now getting that data dynamically from its own little file, which means the next step is going to be fun. Let's go ahead and delete this line. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put this statement back because this is a good confirmation that the Wi-Fi really did work right. But I have another way of checking, which I will do right now. I'm actually just going to check my network and see what devices are attached. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. But as a confirmation, we're going to do that. Plus, I just removed a couple of stray print lines, so that'll be good. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love the way that. Let's get a close-up look of that splash screen working again, man. We'll just get a good look at it there. I love it. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. So we're waiting for this VS Code to finish building. Come on now, build. And then what's the next step? We got the config. We got that stored in the text file, being dynamically set up, which is awesome. Come on, build. Hurry up, build. Oh boy. You know what? I'll show you what Sergeant Renfrew is doing over there. He's holding my oscilloscope. He wanted to participate in this project more, so I said, here, hang on to my oscilloscope. So that's what he's doing. He's about as productive as the oscilloscope, so that's fine by me. It's just taking forever for, there we go. Now I can push the button to do the upload process. And there we go. So the whole point of this was just, I wanted to make sure that it was connecting to the right network. So it's actually going to do a get host name after it's connected and dump it out to the text file. See, connected to area, Wi-Fi connected, IP address. There we go. Hostname, HardSenseESP. Perfect. That's exactly what it should be. Good, good, good. I'm sorry, I'm still dealing with this cold. It's like day 2.5, so I have to have a Hall's throat lozenge to get me through some of this. Okay, so we're good with that. You know what? I am going to disable these. And this. And then boom, boom. That should take care of it. I just want to speed up a few things, and that should do it. Just going to get rid of some stray statements. We'll upload this. Watch my little thing. Cool. Oh yeah, I was going to show you what my what Sergeant Renfrew is doing over there. He's holding my oscilloscope, so I'm going to just unplug this. So the whole thing is just running off of power off of this little box here. And Sergeant Renfrew wanted to be involved, so I told him to just hang on to my oscilloscope. So that's really just connected to the power rails right here. That's what those are, and you can see them running that way and then connected out there. And then you can just see the cables running all the way to the oscilloscope. So if we power it on, it jumps up to 5 volts. So now he feels like he's involved. And you know what? I can do all of that and plug this back in. Just like this. And VS Code still hasn't finished building yet. Oh, I just bumped it again, didn't I? We see VS Code is still building, and there we go. Now we can connect to the port. So slow. Visual Micro is so much faster and better and overall, but you know I can't afford it. So you know, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications. You'll see when I go live. I'll be playing another episode of Black Mesa tonight. Getting some requests for that. There's a new beta option I was told to turn on because they just did a new update and it's supposed to be awesome. So I'm going to check it out. Hey, that worked. Connecting to Wi-Fi. Why does it still say that? You know what? I'm going to leave it. It's good enough for me. Let's have a close-up look. Yep, let's go into Bluetooth mode. Okay, so what we're going to do now so now that I've got this working, instead of the hard-coded values for the Wi-Fi device ID and the Bluetooth device ID, it's now reading them from that configuration file. The next step is to make those options settable. So this is the HardSense program. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You, turn back on. You, come back. When you wiggle a window around on Windows, it decides to minimize everything else, and it's really freaking annoying. So, anyways, hey, where's HardSense? Come on, HardSense. So this is the Windows HardSense right here. Don't wiggle it around, go slow with it. Oh, there it is. The Bluetooth configurator screen, settings, Bluetooth. We need to add a new options in here to set that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth ID. That way, when this ships with a default text file, it'll be defaulted to HardSenseESP. But if I want multiple devices on the network, I can actually change it through here. So what are we going to do? Let's start off by adding a new box and fixing this bug. you'll notice in here, underneath the word port, it's red. It's blocking out the border, and underneath the word pass, it's actually blocking out the border. So I gotta fix that. I think that should be an easy fix. If we go to our Bluetooth configurator screen and we look at where those are written, so the network panel, draw network panel, fast line. So I think maybe we should I really want to use a text printer for this. Instead of just typing to the TFT itself, I'm going to switch that over to a text printer. Well, no, that's actually why I was having the problem to begin with. No, not at this point. This should work here. These are drawn during the constructor, so I'll be fine if I switch this over to using a text printer sprite. That's what I call this one. It lives all the time as a part of the base class, and it's just a helper sprite that lets you just bunch up a lot of text and print it all at once rather than doing the TFT draws, which can be a little more expensive, but I can take care of it right now. So yeah, let's do that. So what I need to do is I'm just going to borrow this. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to borrow the whole thing for now. And I need to replace those lines. Now the thing about this is, the reason why I'm doing this, that when you're just doing a TFT print or a draw string, it actually sets your back. You can set your text color and your background color, and that background color is actually going to be so high. That's why we see it's overriding. That's why we see where the word port is, right here, and where the word pass is, why we see that red line underneath it. Because we're actually writing the word pass and writing the word port after we draw this big box. Now up here, we actually draw the name before we draw this horizontal line. That's why we don't see the same problem here. But if I use the text printer sprite, I can actually just say, make my sprite only 15 pixels high, and that'll cut off the bottom, because the regular TFT draw string or print and whatnot has an extra border that's much higher and can actually get in the way of things and be a big problem. Hey, I just got something happening. What's going on here? Ooh. Hey, I'm getting some Twitter traction. I got a new follower. Yay, I'm up to 2. Anyways, I am going to fix that just by putting in a text printer sprite. So I just want to create it. I don't want it to be very big. Let's say, what is this typing? Is this typing the words network SSID pass? Okay. And let's make it about 60. That should be plenty big. And then we'll just do that, and then we're going to fill it. So if we're going to do the first word, this is SSID. I'm actually messing with the wrong one, aren't I? No, network panel. Put the word network in here. Print it at 0, 0. Oops. Copy, paste. And then we're going to paste that. Where was I actually writing this before? Network goes at 80. I'm actually just going to copy this. Stick it right in there. So I no longer need that. And this one should be the header color, right? Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of that. Oops, network. That should be quoted. Oops, there we go. There. Now I'm going to just copy this. This one is SSID. This one is pass. This one is, these are for the background color. And the location of these. Oh, drawstring should actually just be at 0, 0. I wanted this. So that was supposed to be 0, 0. I goofed. And I wanted to push it to that location. So I'm just going to update all of these. Come on now. Right there. All right, there. This is supposed to be 0, 0. This is supposed to be 0, 0. So I put those in the wrong spot. Bummer. Now, 6 and 24. And password is 6 and 44. So 6 and 24. 6, 44. Get rid of that. Delete my sprite. Pushed it. Now, keeping this at only 15 pixels high should get rid of that problem there where the text is or the color is overlaying the bottom. It's really the only way I know how to get rid of it, other than drawing the box at the very end, and that just introduces all sorts of problems by itself. So let's just make sure that everything is lined up correctly. Got my header color. Those are 0. My text datum is top left. Yep. Got my fonts. Now I should be able to just copy this into the, this is what, my network panel? Yeah. Now I should be able to copy this into the server panel where it does its TFT drawings. There's its text. Copy that out. Yeah. And then do this. I got server for network. Name for that. Port for this. And the coordinates are local chords again, because I actually just take the initial chords and I build them into a local variable called local chords. It tends to make it easier to reproduce some certain code like this and let you know what you can refactor later on. What's going on here? Yay. Okay, now what? Now what are we doing? Comment that out. This should all work. Unloading the font. This only gets drawn once, so that's not a problem. Paste, paste, paste. Oh, I gotta change these numbers. No, these numbers are right. 6, 80, and 4. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm just gonna build this. This will upload to there and eventually. It might get there eventually. Oh, is it plugged in? Yes. So when you buy these things, these ESP32s, here's one right here. You can see it in my hand. You can get these off of a lot of different locations for less than $10. And this is all there is to it. There's two different types. You might notice that this one and this one are slightly different. You can see them side by side up here. But they have basically the same SPI addresses and the same things like that, so you can use the same pins. It's not a big deal. Under $10 for these things. It's so inexpensive and ridiculously powerful. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, file system, dual core. It's wonderful. So we're still building over here because it just takes forever to do the building in VS Code. Now all of this was just to fix that one little bug, display bug, right? Okay, there we go. Oh, and I screwed that up. I definitely got some coordinates wrong here. Yeah, definitely got some coordinates wrong here. Let's see, I'll have a look. Bluetooth configurator, port, name, server, port. Oh, yep, I totally missed that one. That one was supposed to be, what is that? 44. 24, 44. So did I do it on the other one as well? Yeah, 44. I totally missed that. There we go. 6 and 44. 84. 6 and 24. Matches that. 6 and 44. Matches that. Okay, good. I fixed that problem. So that should take care of that. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll build that again. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. All right, hurry up. Come on now. So the next thing I want to do, once we get this little bug crushed, we're going to add another box onto this screen for device IDs, and then 2 fields, one for Wi-Fi, one for Bluetooth, and it will display the text from the config file. So this should be fairly quick. Once we got this bug crushed, I'm just going to be able to copy those 3 functions again, give them different labels, and we're done. You'll see what I mean in a second, if we ever get there. It takes forever to build on this VS Code. It really does. Almost there. Come on now. You can do it. There we go. Push the button. There we go. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Come on now. Okay. Okay, so I did something wrong on the server and on the network. I forgot to change the background color of the text. So, right. Set text color for the network, and then change it here. This should actually be panel header color. So fill the sprite with the panel header color. Make it a bit smaller. This is just my text sprite. Make it just 80. Let's see here. So set the text color, yep. And the panel header color. This should be panel header color. So fill the sprite with the panel header color. Draw it. Change the text color to the panel background color. Fill it with panel background. Yeah, that should take care of that. Now we do the same on the server panel. I guess we can get rid of this now. Where's my server panel? So we got to do the same here. I was missing a set text color. Create this. I'm going to move this up. Set our text color. This should actually be panel header color. I want to change this to 80. Fill the sprite with our panel header color. Now we got to change our text color back to panel background color. We have our sprite being filled with the panel background color. We name, fill it, name. Okay, we're good. We are good. We'll let that build. So this is what it looks like for a building computer that's streaming a whole bunch of data. We got a CPU that's, why is it only at 3.5? Where's my overclocking? It's supposed to be at 4.2. That's interesting. I have to look into that. The GPU, that's because of OBS, I'm sure. But you notice that it's only sitting at, it hasn't actually moved the clock, any of the shader clocks. Or the core memory, the shader is up a little bit, but it's still using 30% of it. Not much memory. Network is still going crazy. Our CPU, whoops, there we go. That's wasn't a crash, that's because it finally finished compiling. Okay, what do we got going on here? Wait for it to finish. Perfect. That was a lot of work. Just to get rid of that overhanging text that was the red bar that was overlaying the. Now, if I wasn't streaming, I'm sure I could have done it a lot faster. Anyways, so before we continue, I'm going to go ahead, make sure everything is saved. Yep, and I'm going to check this into branch 17. I'm going to commit this and push it up there. Fixed bug in displaying labels on the Bluetooth configurator screen. Also added Wi-Fi and Bluetooth device IDs to the HardSense.txt configuration file. That's not spelled right. Blue throat? Okay. Commit and push. So that should take care of that. If we go have a look at here, we go back to HardSense. This is branch 17. Do a refresh. You can see it was just updated 15 seconds ago. So this is all free. If you're following along, go ahead and sync or do whatever. Okay, now we're going to add a new box. We're going to add a new box to the configurator screen. So I need a couple of files. Turn off the serial object for now. Turn off that, turn off that, turn off that. I just need my Bluetooth configurator header file. Make a couple of new variables called device ID, device ID panels. Sure, why not? That's a Y64. 128. Okay, now we need 3 functions. No, 4 functions. No, 3 functions. No. We'll see. We'll start off with this. Device ID panel. Yeah. Update Wi-Fi device ID string Wi-Fi DID Bluetooth DID Update. BT device ID. Sure, why not? Copy those over to the configurator file. All the way to the bottom. Paste. Clean this up a bit. Do that. That. And that. 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 And that. Copy this. Paste it there. There. And there. Draw device ID panel. I don't need this anymore. I basically want to copy this entire thing. Paste it right here. Take my device ID panel X coordinate. Put it there. Put my Y panel there. I shouldn't have to change anything else except some text. This should be now device. Come on now, device ID. This one should be Wi-Fi. This one should be Bluetooth. Oops, that's not going to work. Y. There we go. Take this. Go up to my constructor. Shove it in there. Good enough. Now we need a couple of these. We need E equals Wi-Fi device ID. F equals Bluetooth device ID. E and F. E, F. Sub value. Update. Wi-Fi device ID. Update. Bluetooth device ID. Okay, that takes care of that. So now down here, update server name. I'll just take that. Thank you very much. Post you down here. Unload font. Okay, I just got to change those to device panel ID. X and Y. That should all work without further ado. Oh, this don't work. Wi-Fi. That. Now, for the last trick, I copy this and I paste it here. Take that, put it in there, put it in there. We should be almost done. Not quite. All I have to do now is go to my serial object, my serial handler. Bluetooth. I'm just thinking of where I'm actually going to fill that information in. Oh, that's where. Where are you, baby? Right there. Update Bluetooth display. That's the function. See? It's all living in here. I just take this, paste, D, E, and F. Dot Wi-Fi dot BT. There. So now those values are being passed in on the data queue to the configuration screen. If is PISS. Yeah. Okay. See, right? Yeah. EF. EF. E is Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. E is Wi-Fi. B is EF. EF. Got my addresses there, BT. This should all work. All I should have to do now is just compile it and upload it, and that should work. It takes forever to upload, so let's, any questions? Don't forget to subscribe and like, turn on notifications. This is my HardSense project. It's available on Github. If we have a look here, Github.com, I am KiteCraft everywhere except on Twitter. I'm KiteCraft1 on Twitter. KiteCraft everywhere else. Working on branch number 17. Currently doing the HardSenseESP updates. We're soon to be working with the Windows application. We're going to be adding some new options in here for the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth device ID so that I can set those remotely. And that'll be it. We'll be actually done with most of the base code for this project. And the next step will actually be able to work on the circuit boards. And I'll finish designing the circuit boards, hopefully over the next few days in some live streams. They're also available in the GitHub repository. If we go back up to the root, you'll see there's a KiCad directory, KiCad. This is where the circuit board lives. Oh, hey, look at that. We're finally ready to upload some code. So I'll push the button. It's uploading. I will hold the Bluetooth button down. Yeah, any day now. So we should now see beauty in the... Oh, I missed. I did. That's because I was so close. Okay, so I got to make the device IDs label bigger, and I know exactly why why I missed on that second label. Okay, so on my Bluetooth configurator screen, draw device ID panel. I need to make this particular sprite bigger, so let's go to 95, and let's paste it a little bit left. Let's go 70. Yeah. Sure. Now, this one, I forgot to move this one down. Paste it, 24. That should be lower. That should be 44. There. That should fix it all. We should now see the proper labels and text appear. And again, it's going to take forever to actually build. All right, come on, let's switch over to this camera. So what do we got going on here? Eventually, after we finish building the circuit board, which is available, like I said, in the same repository, the GitHub repository under KiCad, we'll be building a circuit board, and it's a double-sided circuit board, and we will actually be building it here. I do have experience with building double-sided circuit boards, for example, this one. So that's part of the upcoming live streams, and then finally we're going to design a box that it's all going to fit into, and the box will be about this big, or maybe about this big. And that'll be the last bit for HardSense. And hopefully over the next week and a half or so, I'll actually be able to finish all of those steps live on these streams. And we're still waiting for it to actually build. So come on now, you can do it. Still compiling. So I really prefer to use Visual Micro. It's a Visual Studio extension. It's faster and just so much nicer and better in so many ways. Even with the built-in debugger, there we go. Now we want to go straight into the Bluetooth, so I'm going to hold the button here. And we should see everything working perfectly. Perfect. I guess I can move those HardSense labels over to the left a bit. Well, the actual device ID labels over to the left a bit. So let's just actually do that. Bluetooth configuration screen. 65 is too far. Let's go with the same place as port. So what's the offset for port? Port. The offset is 55 for port. So let's go to 55 for both of these. And that should be the final little thing we have to do to make that work. God, I love that splash screen. I really love that. You know, I'm really happy that splash screen came out as well as it did with just that one line of code plus a couple of variables, you know, in the loop. Oh, it works so perfectly. Let's go have a better look at that. And it really is that fast. It is in fact connecting to the network, connecting to the HardSense server, requesting the data, but the ESP32 with its dual cores and everything, it is so fast and friendly and beautiful. All right, we're still compiling code over here in VS Code. Let's do that reboot again. Just like that. Network, HardSense server, request data, load the screen. Just, you know, bang, it's done. You gotta love this thing. It's so fast. Still compiling code. Still compiling code. There we go. Push the button. No, go. If I don't push the button, what will happen? Nothing. It did it. Oh, thank you. You know, in Visual Micro, it's very consistent. I can trust it. I know I can just hit the build button. Well, I can hit F5. I don't always have to switch to the home INO file. I can be anywhere. I can just press F5 and go to the bathroom. And it's going to upload properly. And okay. So let's hold the ESP or the Bluetooth button. Excuse me. I do believe we're looking good. I do believe we are looking good. What do you think? I think we're good. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay, I think that's good. What do you think? Do you think it's good? You think about it. You reply, tell me if it's good or not. I'm going to get myself a little drink here. Maybe chat amongst yourselves. Oops, I just banged my camera again. Gotta stop doing that. Alright, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and check this, commit and push this to my GitHub repository before I break something. But I think it's all good. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to give you a quick little explainer of some other changes I made in order to speed this whole thing up. The thing about this dual core processor is that you can do some really neat things with it. Normally on an Arduino project you have setup and loop, right? But on a dual core processor like this, you actually, both of those run on core 1, and you have a whole other core called core 0 just sitting there waiting to do something. So if we have a look at this, our setup function is just, you know, we're doing some serial begin. That's just because we're doing some development and whatnot. We initialize our display handler, which is just a class that sets up how we're actually going to be handling all the screen interactions. We check we have a Bluetooth button. That's my button here. We set it with a pin mode on an internal pull-up resistor. We turn on our heartbeat timer and we attach it and do our little trick with the heartbeat timer. And then we do this. Right at the very top, we create this new task called task create pin to core. This is essentially starting a new thread on core 0 on that other core, and that's going to allow us to run a whole new process by itself on that other core, and it's called TFT core proc. So we'll go down and have a quick look at what this is. This is that function, and you can see it just calls run on my display handler. Yeah, that's it. This run method, it basically sets up like 3 variables and then it drops into a true loop and a while true, and it loops. It will never actually exit. So this entire display handler runs on core 0. And the cool thing is, it starts running as soon as this function creates. So now we actually just initialize our HS serial object with a couple of Q objects, and with the heartbeat object it's going to do some interesting stuff. We turn on our volume encoder. That's what this thing is, by the way. This is actually a volume control. It allows me to control the volume back on my computer, which is pretty cool. And then we check to see if that Bluetooth button is pressed. And if it is, we go into our Bluetooth queue, our display, and then our handle Bluetooth connection. Everything you're seeing that's running on here right now, we still haven't left setup. We're still actually in setup. If you're familiar with your regular Arduino programs, you would know that, hey, we're doing a lot of work, and we're still actually in setup. Yes, we are. There's actually even some data updates that are being done through this. Eventually, or we actually, if we're not going into Bluetooth mode, this will be skipped, and we go straight to our splash screen, and then we have this new function. This actually streamlines a lot of the work. I was actually doing too much work here. Now we just check to make sure that we're connected to something, and if we're not, we connect, and then we're off and running. So there's a lot less work being done in here. We've moved it up here, and this is the wonder of a dual core processor. You can actually do all of this neat stuff. It makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and check this code in and commit it and push it and do all of that weird stuff that we do. What did I just do? I added a new device ID panel to the Bluetooth configurator screen. Yeah, that's it. That's all I did, right? Oops, I'm on master. Let's switch this over to the right branch, 17. And yeah, last committed 25 seconds ago. Good. Everything's up to date. Added a new device ID panel. Looks good. Okay. I'm down to one viewer. Uh-oh. All right, now we get to the fun bit. Well, a different bit. The next step is this. I need to go into the HardSense server and add an option to the Bluetooth configurator to display that device ID. It's going to be a new box, but it's going to upset the look of this. So let me show you how this is going to work. Down here, we're into the Visual Studio aspect of this project. If you're on, where to go? Where's my Firefox? There it is. So in software, from root of the project software, we're in Windows, and we're now actually running this project that's built into here, this HardSense project. So this is a Windows application. Now if you look here, this particular box, this is the main HardSense window. You'll see here's the application. And this is the actual window for it. It's called HardSense.cs. But I need to do some work on this particular screen. This is the Bluetooth configurator screen. So we go to Settings, Bluetooth Configurator. We need to be able to read and set that device ID through this dialog box, through this pop-up box. So that's this box right here. So I need to add, and I got to make it look good. So what should I do? Just bring this down, and then select that, and that. Move them down. Okay, I'm going to put that there for now. Now I need another group box in here. Where's my group box? Right there. Just put this in here. Make it a different size. There. Call it, whoops, that was the wrong button, yes. Excuse me. Oh, man. I hit Control Z the wrong time. Sometimes you can really screw yourself when you hit the wrong button. Like that. Thank you. Okay. You go down there. You, and you come down here. Thank you. Now put a group box in there. Right there. Make that bigger. Change its title name to device IDs. Really, why not? Oops, text. Device IDs. I don't need to change the label of this, do I? Let's just have a look. What did I call this one? Group box. Oh, yeah, that's actually because I am enabling some stuff, so I need to rename this one to be group box underscore device IDs underscore device IDs. Okay, good. Now inside here I need to put 2 labels. Where are you, label? Here you are. You are going to be called Wi-Fi, and you shall be called Bluetooth. I'm going to just leave you there for now. Put you up here. Oh, you come on. Oh, you're gonna hurt me, aren't you? Yes. You've got to be kidding me. Boy, that undo is horrible. Be nice. I just want to get rid of the dumbass function. You just paste it in there, label 11, click. Alright. Where's my action tabs? Right here. Is that it? Group box IDs. Label 11. You go away. Now I can go over here and delete this. And nothing will die. Thank you. If you click too fast, bad things happen. Okay, so I need, what do I need now? I need a text box. 2 text boxes. Text box. ST, where are you, text box? Right there. I need one for you. And one there for you. I'm going to call you, you got to be read-only, I guess, right? Yeah. What is this one called? Oh, yeah, go there. So this is called, name text box. This one's called text box underscore current Wi-Fi device ID, and it's going to be read-only. So where is my read-only box? It's one of these down here. Where are you? Don't make me search. There it is. You are true. Okay, good. Now let's go to the Bluetooth. We'll rename you text box underscore Bluetooth device ID. Make you read only. Okay, now let's kind of get your labels in the right place. Oh, I hate trying to line stuff up, and you know, I do actually prefer the Qt framework for doing dialog box structures, but I think this will work. Let's just make that a bit bigger. Okay. So now I need 2 more boxes for new values. Yeah. So I need to go back here, find my text boxes again, put you right there, copy and paste you to there. You will be called new Wi-Fi device ID, because you were called current, yes, and you were called current. I gotta change you. Am I renaming these the right way? Current, no spaces. And you should be right there, called new Bluetooth device ID. And I'm going to make you guys bigger. Move you over a bit. I'm going to make you guys a little bigger. Not that big. Okay, fine. I need to make you a little bit wider. There we go. Everything's lining up good enough. Good enough. Now I need a button. I need a button. Where is my buttons? CD button. Button. What am I going to call it? This button is, what's this button? This button is called Update Server Info. Update Network Info. This one is obviously going to be called Button. Update Device ID Info to ESP. Bad naming. I know. I should do something different there. What is this called? Update Device IDs. Put the button over here. Make it a bit bigger. Let's take these buttons. Move them up. Oh, you son of a... You did not... Up there like that. How are we looking there? Does that look right? Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. Hang on, I gotta close this. I gotta restart it. I gotta run this as an administrator because those sensors actually need access as administrator, so I have to restart how I run Visual Studio. So, sorry about that. If I try to build and compile it now, it's not going to be able to access a lot of the sensors, so I have to do something different. My bad. Come on now. Now, I'm going to restart this. And you're going to notice it's just going to sit there spinning on the screen. That's because the HardSense server isn't actually running. So I actually need to build this release. And once it gets up and running, we'll see HardSense over here connect, and we'll be up and running and good. Oh shoot! What did I do? I hit the wrong button, didn't I? There we go. So it connects, go to my settings, and there's my new update device ID information. Okay. Oh, I gotta hide it. Why is that being hidden? Let's go have a look at what's happening there. So in the constructor for this, I think I'm actually turning all of those boxes off. Yeah. Group box. Group box underscore. Come on, spell the thing right. Device IDs dot enabled equals false. Okay. So that will turn off that box now. Okay, once it's connected, it will actually do a request for all of the IDs. So let's see, where's the connect button? Somewhere in here is a connect button that gets called. Button, button, rescan, button connect to port. Whoops. What the heck did I call it? Button connect to port. What do we do here? Okay. Connect to HardSense. Okay, here we do our connection. Bluetooth, string return connected. While running. Yeah. I'm just looking to see where we actually request the information. Or is it being pushed out by default from here? Let me just have a look at what's going on here. It shouldn't be. Where's my serial object? Handle Bluetooth. Dispatch command. Yeah, so this should be requesting each of these individually. So where is it doing that? Now I just got to find out where it's actually doing that. Easy way to figure it out is to just copy this. Where do you go? Request. Request server port. Where is that being used in here? I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. Accept new request. So here's what's happening. Here's what I was just looking for. I'll explain this to you. I might have lost you, even though nobody's chatting. When the Bluetooth configurator connects with that button, it goes ahead and right here, it successfully connects. It will then request from the HardSenseESP some specific information. So you get here, return connected, connect to HardSense, fail counter, properties, BT. So if connected, we set our little variables there. This is where we turn everything back on. So I have to add a group box. Device IDs. Where's my device IDs? Group box, device IDs. Come on. Oh, I spelled that way wrong, didn't I? Dot enabled equals true. This will turn everything on. And then somewhere around here we actually call that that function. Where the heck is it? Trans accept. Oh right, when we get the ACK. So I've got to add these in here. Okay, good. Now let's just make sure that's a little bit about the whoops, that was the wrong one. I keep doing that. Okay, there we go. That's running. Settings, Bluetooth. Oh, I gotta put this into Bluetooth mode. There we go, we're in Bluetooth mode. We hit connect. And it connected. I don't know why it went into the background, but whatever. So you'll see it filled in all the information, and my box is now enabled. We can actually just exit and do that again. Why did it disappear? There we go. So good. We actually have progress. Now we got to get those device IDs from HardSense and into here. And you'll notice that this is working in a rather special way. You can go away. Yes. By actually asking for it. So we have to add these keys to our communication protocol. I'm going to do it first of all on this side, the VS Studio side. There's this file called serial interface. And you'll see it's got all of these little options in here, config, request, and whatnot. I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple more for config, request, server, hostname. What the heck is that one being used for? I don't know. Okay, so we need another couple of these. Where's a good place to put them? Right here. Config, request, Wi-Fi, device ID. And I'm going to give this 0x, what do we got, 38, 39, so we're up to x40. No, we're not. What was my last one in here? 39. Right there, 39. So now 3A, which is a colon, okay. Which is, no, that is the colon, right? Yeah. Config, request, Bluetooth, device ID equals 0x3B, which is, what the hell is a 3B? The regular colon. There we go. Now I got to take these, copy them over to the other project. Wherever it went, there it is. Where am I? Okay, where did I just add that in here? Underneath update time. So I'm going to add them into here, and I have to add them into this thing up here. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it there, and I need to put this value. This is a little bit weird, I know. It's not my favorite way of doing it, but it works. This is a, what is this? 3A and 3B. 3A, 3B. This is a colon. This is that. Okay, so that should take care of that. Now what we need to do is pop back over to here and just add those to the request cycle. So now that the protocol is actually aware of them, our transmission keys are aware of these two keys, we can actually add them to our, we can add a key to our message, which is our output queue, and it'll just, off we go. So that's done. Now, over here in HardSense, I am going to go to my dispatch command in my serial object. Where's my serial object? There's a function in here called dispatch command, and you'll see it's got all of these things that I can do with all of these particular keys. So where are we doing? We're doing our requests up here. So this is request, request, request. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it twice, but first I'm going to do this. That just gives me some space to know where I'm working. I want request Wi-Fi and request BT. Now, okay, so now I need to add 2 more keys. The current bit, right? Okay. Config current. So this is a send. Config current. Yeah. Wi-Fi. So this is sending the data. Wi-Fi device ID equals 0x3. What are we at? C? What is a 3C? It's a bracket. And config current BT device ID equals 0x3D, which is any prizes? It's an equal sign. Okay, so we want to add that current key. So when we request the Wi-Fi, we're going to send back the current key, and it is the Wi-Fi ID. And this is we're going to send back our, what is it, our config current Bluetooth ID, and we are going to send back our HardSense settings Bluetooth ID. So that's that. That takes care of that. So now when we get a request for what is your current Wi-Fi ID, we stuff in here, we say, okay, this is what our current ID is. Why aren't you happy with me? Oh, add int. Why am I adding an int? I should be adding a string. Adding a string, because it's a string. And there we go. So we get the request, we look at this and say, okay, somebody's requesting the Wi-Fi device ID. So I'm going to say, here's what my current Wi-Fi device ID is, and here's what the actual value is. So that takes care of that. Now I got to add those 2 new keys to my protocol up here. C and D, and then I have to add 2 more to this, the transmission keys. It is a bit of a pain in the neck. I realize it's not the most elegant solution, but you know what, it works. 3A, B, C, C and D. And this is, what is this? A bracket and an equal sign. Now the names are different, so this is config current. And this is config BT current. Wow, things are going on. Oh, my battery's dying. That's what. Okay, so that should take care of that. And you know what? I'm going to leave you for just a second while I go to the bathroom. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Now, here's where we're at. our Bluetooth configurator screen, when we click connect, it goes out and establishes the connection with the ESP32 here and does its handshake. Once it's successfully connected, it goes through and requests a whole bunch of information. It says, okay, I want to know what your stored SSID is. I want to know if you have a password. I want to know what your stored Now we've added our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth device IDs, and now we're at the point where we're saying, okay, what is your current IDs? We've updated HardSenseESP to be able to respond to that request by saying, okay, if you're asking me what it is, here is what I know. Now, back on the Bluetooth configurator side, the Windows side, we actually need to say, we need to be able to respond to that. Okay, when this comes back, we're going to say, okay, I got a response to my request. What do I do with it? I have to update those text boxes somewhere. So let's go figure out how to do that. All right, so we're here. No, that's the wrong program. We go to here. Trans key, config server host name update success, config current. Here we go. Trans receiver server port. Those are interesting little functions. What file is this? Bluetooth configurator. GUI. Bluetooth configurator. So I've got some little functions in here that actually take care of doing those updates. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one called right here. Trans receive server port, server name. Yeah, this is a good place to do it. Private void trans rec EI server trans receive Wi-Fi device ID string new Wi-Fi device ID. What we're going to do here, as long as it's not null, which one do I want to pick here? There we go. Oops, did I spell that wrong? So if new Wi-Fi device is empty, set it to NA text box underscore current Wi-Fi device ID, delegate it. Yep. With this. That should do that. Now I just need to copy this and replace it with Bluetooth. New Bluetooth device ID. If it's empty, we'll set it to not applicable. And I have a text box up there, text box underscore Bluetooth, current Bluetooth. I spelled that wrong. I gotta fix that spelling. C-U-R-R-E-N-T. Yeah, that'll work. So let's fix this. Text box current Bluetooth.invoke. Invoke. New Bluetooth device ID. Okay, good. So what we're going to see now, when we build this and connect, it's going to fill that in with the information that we see here on our Bluetooth device. This is actually going to be really cool. Watch what happens. I have to kill the existing server that's running. So there we go. That's done. Let's do a build here. I keep forgetting which key to press. Alright, so that's building. And it launches. Go to settings, Bluetooth configurator. This is my, the HardSense ESP is already in Bluetooth mode. Connect. Taking its time to connect. Oh, those are empty. Those shouldn't be empty. Why was that empty? It really shouldn't have been empty. It should not have been empty. So we're going to have to do a little bit of debugging there to figure out why that went wrong. Oh, I know why. Obvious reasons why. Speak up, man. You didn't tell me why. It's because I forgot to actually upload the new code that I wrote for the microcontroller. That's why. It doesn't know how to respond to those requests because I haven't given it the new code. That'll be the reason. Alright, we'll let that go. Hurry up and build. This could take a while. Okay, what do we got going on here? Nice. I'm actually getting YouTube for our Twitter followers. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, no, tomorrow. Just, you know, you got to take your time to build this, I guess. You know, hurry up and wait. Just, you know, whatever. Oh, come on now. I really want you to finish building. Thank you. Okay, so this will be giving it the new code that I just wrote to handle the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi device IDs requests. So once this finishes uploading, I'll switch back into Bluetooth configurator screen. There we go. Now, if I launch my Bluetooth configurator and connect to it, we should see Wi-Fi. Damn. Really? This should have worked. Am I missing a step? Let's have a look here. Oh, I am missing a step. I actually forgot to call these from, right, so I've created the functions that actually do the work, but they're just sitting there, they're not actually being used. I need to go back to the handler. Where is it? Dispatch request. So now I've got to actually add my keys in here to do something with it. I need to config current, config update success. So I'm going to take these and I'm just going to go 1, 2. Now I got my protocol keys. I need config current Wi-Fi there, and config current BT device, put it there. And now I got to call my new functions, which are called trans receive, whoops, what is this, Wi-Fi? So I need my Wi-Fi, trans receive Wi-Fi device ID, and this one needs to be trans receive Bluetooth ID. So when I get this key, send it off to this function to do something with the value. There, that completes the loop. That's the bit that I missed. Oh, good. So now we're up and running. Now all I have to do, I'll just kill the current application. We will build and rerun this one. Launch the Bluetooth configurator, connect, and voila! You just got to remember to connect all your things. So we got HardSenseESP and HardSenseESP1. Now, we're going to do the update. Yeah. Okay, so the way this next bit's going to work is when we click Update Device IDs, it's just going to take the text from both of those and go ahead and do it. So I need to come back over here. Now this button I need an action on. So I'm going to double click it. There's my button was clicked. Okay. I kind of want to do the same thing that I'm doing for the connect button. Where the hell is my connect button? Actually, I'm just going to do the same thing I'm doing right here. What I'm really doing here is I'm adding a string to the message. My transmission key is, oh, I need some new transmission keys. Because this is, whoops, where's my serial interface? So now we are actually doing the set commands. So we need a config set Wi-Fi device ID 3F, which is, what is 3F? Question mark. And config set BT device ID equals 0x, what is that? We're up to 40 now, aren't we? Which is the @ sign, alright. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to copy them over to my protocol keys, add 2 more transmission keys, 3C, D, E, wait, what? Oh, I missed one. D, E, and this should be 3F. Okay, so what was 3E? Oh, 3E is this, and 3F is that. Yeah. So let's take those, put them in here. Good. So E and F, right? So E and F, that's the right bracket and the question mark, and one of them is called set Wi-Fi and the other one is called set Bluetooth. Okay, so now we have transmission keys and protocol keys. Now for the button, we are actually going to do config set Wi-Fi, and then we want text box current new Bluetooth. Nope. Did I not give them the right name? Text box new Wi-Fi, new Bluetooth. Text box new Wi-Fi, and this one is text box underscore new Bluetooth. Okay, good. Oh, set Wi-Fi, and this one is set Bluetooth. Okay, good. So those protocols, oops, I got to clear those boxes. So that should clear the boxes. When you click the button, it's going to add those strings to the output, which sends it down to here. So now I need a couple of actions here. Where's my dispatch command? config set. So I'm going to copy this one and change that to, what are we doing here? Set Wi-Fi and set Bluetooth device IDs. Now I need to do a nice late little thing here. I need update success keys. Config. Wi-Fi device ID. Update success equals 0x40, which is the @ and now I need another one. This is the A, this is a 41, right? 41 is A, and this one's going to be called Wi-Fi BT. Take these, copy them over to the other project serial. We need them there for the protocol keys, and then we need 2 transmission keys. What is this? 40, 41. This was the @. This is a capital A. First one is Wi-Fi update success. Second one is Bluetooth update success. Okay, so now I've got all those keys in there. I have them being sent. On the HardSenseESP side, I have keys to actually handle them. So if I'm setting it, I'm update the setting, the key, and the val. So I've got to add up to, actually I think I've done that, update setting. Let's just have a quick look, but I think that should be taken care of. Oh, nope. So I need to add 2 keys to this. Config set. Config set Wi-Fi device ID. HardSense. Oh, hang on. Oh, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Copy this there and there. Set Bluetooth device ID. Config set Bluetooth. Okay, so this one is .Wi-Fi. And this one is .Bluetooth. There we go. So that does that, does that. Oh. And then we have this the response. One more to go. Oh, right. That is in fact being done. So if we go have a look at the dispatch command again. Config request BT. Config set Wi-Fi. Config server port. Yeah, I've got to put the right keys in there. So Wi-Fi device ID update success will either be true or false, whatever happens here. And Bluetooth. So if we get the set the device ID, we call this function and we return whatever it did, if it was pass or fail. So that's all good. Now on the Windows side, where's our dispatch command? So we're actually doing things here with update successes. Why? Let's have a look at what, find out why. Why are we doing trans receive update successes here? Oh, just check for failures. Oh, and request. We re-request the original value and repaste it, and that's our actual validation knows. In fact, that's an important step. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste again. Server port. I need 2 new functions. One of them is for Update success. For the Wi-Fi, one of them is for Bluetooth device. Now, protocol transmission keys. Add key to message. Requesting. We want to re-request our device ID and our Bluetooth ID. If result, that means if success, we're going to re-request, config that. That will cause the update, and otherwise we're going to write something here. Fail to update the BT device ID, Wi-Fi device ID. That should do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the HardSenseESP program. And while that's doing it, we'll build a new one of these. Come on now. Let's see which one builds first. There it is. That one built first. Okay, good. Now, we'll just let that build while the VS Code program. So what's going to happen now is we should actually be able to update the device IDs from this Bluetooth configurator. When we update the new ID, we'll type the text into this box right here, press the button. It sends the command out saying new update or new value. HardSenseESP says, okay, I update my settings, I send back success. This one says, okay, you successfully updated it, thank you. Send me what you think the new value is. And then it starts that process again by HardSense actually sending the new value. So instead of just kind of assuming that it works, we actually re-ask for the value. And that's like how we do the true validation. Okay, so that's connecting. Now, this is going to be neat, because what we're going to see, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so that's booting up, and it works. I'm going to put this into Bluetooth mode. Okay, now let's go ahead and connect to it. There. I'm going to keep the Bluetooth the same. But I'm going to change the Wi-Fi ID to no. I'm going to keep the Wi-Fi ID the same, and I'm going to change HardSenseESP to HardSenseESP2. Now, just to see what's going on, I'm also going to change this. See if this actually updated. If not, then I know I've got a connection problem. Yeah. No problem. Let's just reconnect. Good. So I'm going to keep Wi-Fi the same, and I'm going to change this one to 2, do the update. Well, it did do the update, but it didn't get the data back, so that's bad. Here, if I exit this and relaunch it, you'll see that the new data is there, ESP2. So it actually did do the update. Now watch what happens. When I reboot this, I do believe I'm actually, yeah, Bluetooth connection. Gonna reconnect. Font file not found. That's bad. Okay, let's go into Bluetooth mode. Yeah, starting Bluetooth connection, HardSenseESP2. So now if I go to my Bluetooth connections, I do add Bluetooth. Or maybe I have to disconnect the current one because it's called 1. Let me try. Let me try this. Where'd it go? Oh, no, it actually did rename it automatically. Because it was already paired, it got the renaming. That's cool. So the new device is called HardSense. So cool, I should be able to do this then, but there is that one outstanding bug, so I'm going to rename it. Connect. I'm going to call everything HardSense. So we can see it actually did update the device. So you can see the new name and the text has changed, but it's not requesting it from here. So I think I've got a slight bug in the way I'm handling that dispatch command. Let's have a quick look. But now, if I restart this device, go back into the Bluetooth mode. So the device's IDs are both recorded as that. If I look here, and I do my connection, settings, Bluetooth configurator, connect. Good. It's still detected, but it didn't get back. Why not? Slight debugging session coming up. Cool. That does in fact all work. Awesome. That's all it took. Now we just got to figure out that one little bug. So let's go back to the dispatch command. Why isn't it actually updating afterwards? Config Wi-Fi device. Oh, did I actually put the calls into that? Maybe that's why. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Dispatch command. Yeah, see, I didn't actually put them in here. SSID update, password, server port. So I didn't actually handle the success messages. So let's put those in there. My protocol key is Wi-Fi update success. I need that success. And I'm going to call trans receive which one was it? Did I write those functions? I thought I did. Config BT device update success. Oh, that's why, because they're not a trans, they're a config. Okay. So where's my dispatch command? Right. So config Wi-Fi device, yes. So config BT device success. This one is Bluetooth. So I need my Bluetooth here. This one should be config Wi-Fi. Right. There. So now when the update is made, HardSenseESP, this thing over here. Oh, I wasn't even showing you my code. Sorry. HardSenseESP will update the Wi-Fi device ID or the Bluetooth device ID, and then it acts back saying success, either true or false. We're assuming true in this case for my scenario. And then it gets back to here. This says, okay, I'm getting back a success value, so call this function, and we're going to do that request. So now this is why, right, when I did the update device IDs, the device IDs actually did get updated, but they didn't get refreshed on this Bluetooth configurator screen. So this fix will fix that, and then we'll get it working. and I don't need to do any changes on HardSenseESP. I just need to kill the server here and recompile this. There we go. Now if we go into configuration here, connect. Come on. There we go. I'm going to rename them both to Bob. We'll hit the update. There. See? It updated both on the device. Now you can see it actually says Bob in its broken text. And you can see that this has now refreshed to Bob. So that's good. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. That means it's all fixed. Now I'm going to rename it back. HardSenseESP. Update the IDs. They go over there. They get updated. And then they get bounced back. Unless, of course, I've broken something. Which I just may have. Yep. I think I did. No. Okay, let's exit this. Let's just give this a reboot. This should be funny. Where's my Bluetooth settings? There it is. Huh. Why aren't you connecting? There it is. Okay, good. I don't know why it was doing that. We'll update it. Yep, it's all updated. We'll have a look over here. Yep, HardSenseESP in its horrible text. I'm sorry that's so bad. There we go. Just got to get it to focus properly. Sorry. And this is all updated correctly, so we'll exit there. We'll just reboot it. Connected to the network. Everything is good. And boom, there we go. That's it. That is literally all we had to do to add that new setting to our little configuration screen. We can now control the device IDs remotely. Nice. So the next step in this project is to rebuild the partition scheme, and we're going to resize it and add over-the-air update capabilities. So no longer have to be on a Wi-Fi or have to have the USB cable plugged in to update the firmware. It will be, in fact, an OTA update. So that is the next step, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. So this has been a fun stream. Fixed a couple of bugs, added the device ID configuration. Beautiful. That's nice. I'm really happy with that. Let's just put this over to Bluetooth. We'll connect to it here. And look at that. Nice. Really nice. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Wonderful. Power it off. We can see that the sensor value down there on the oscilloscope drops down. And it connects, and we're back up and running. Game screen, still working, no crashes. Back to the home screen. CPU screen. Back to the home screen. I'll let you watch that for a moment. Sorry about that. Anyways, I'm back. Just had to take a quick break. So let's go ahead and check this in. I think the code is good. I'm going to go ahead and commit it and push it to branch 17 of my GitHub repository. Your ability to set the Wi-Fi and BT device ideas via the Bluetooth configurator. Includes new fields on the Bluetooth screen in HardSense 64, new protocol keys, new actions in the dispatchers. And there, we're done. We're going to do a commit and a push. Fantastic. Last step will be, I am going to switch this over to master. And then I'm going to merge branch 17. And then I'm going to push it all up. There. Now, if we go look at the master branch of my HardSense project, you'll see that it just updated. It added new Wi-Fi device IDs. So master is now up to date with all of the existing code we just finished. Let's just reload everything. Beautiful. Fantastico. Close all of this. Why? What's going on? What the hell did I just break? Why? Hang on. I think I did something horrible. That can't be right. Where did it all go? What the hell? Okay, good. It's all there. Yay. You scared me. Okay. Whew. Oh, that had me worried for a second. I thought something horrible went bad. So if we look here, we can see that this has been updated. I got my Windows, HardSense, GUI, Bluetooth. Device IDs, yep. Good, it's all up to date. Wonderful. Anyways, so that's me for today. That was a good project. Thank you all for joining me. Oh, here we go. No, let's go with this.
Shut up and sit down.
Sorry. Here we go. Studio mode. What camera do I want? There. Thank you. Nice to see you. So that was a nice little coding session for HardSense. You know, even though the protocol that I'm using is not the cleanest or most brilliant, it is actually fairly easy to add new commands like what I just did. You know, new device IDs that get set from the config file was a snap to add in, and now setting them from the one program to the other was actually really easy. It was just a matter of adding a bunch of specific keys. You know, the request your current value key. Here, set a request to set the new value key, and an acknowledgement key. You know, was it successful? So it's actually fairly easy to do. Anyways, the next bit that what I need to do on this project is going to be changing the partition scheme. This will allow me to have a more the over-the-air updates that are going to come. If we have a look here, if I press F1 and go to our board config. So right now, the partition scheme, I'm just using one of the defaults. Huge app, 3 megabytes, 1 megabyte SPIFFS, no OTA. Now if we look at the build size of this program, why are my fonts not showing up here? Oh, because that happens, yeah, see, that's the problem. Yeah, that's a whole different bug. The one I was talking about at the very beginning of the stream. Let's what's going on there? I'm going to go back to closing this, go back home, close that, clear this, go to my output. Okay, now we'll just do a build. Okay. I want to clear this too. Hurry up, and build. It takes forever. What I want to show you is the final build size. Now I still have some more refactoring that I can do later on. That'll actually make the compiled size smaller. But as I was just showing you, the default partition scheme I'm using is a 3 megabyte partition scheme with a 1 megabyte SPIFFS. But this, my application actually compiles down to less than 1.4 megabytes. So I can change this a lot with a custom partition scheme and get OTA back. I know I can. It's going to be fun. But let's have a look at the actual compile size, if it ever finishes. Come on now. I know you want to do it. Wow, my load just went up. Look at that. It went up into the yellow. It went yellow there for a minute. Check it out. Okay, so here we're doing. So yeah, you can see the sketch uses 1.38, less than half of that 3 megabytes. So I can definitely do some switching stuff around. Anyways, I want to thank you all very much for joining me for the stream. Please feel free to like and subscribe and check out my PayPal, and my Patreon account. I'm still working on some stuff, but I could really use the money. I want to get a new Visual Micro license, and that's about $26, $27, but it'll make the IoT, the Arduino development, a lot better, a lot faster, because I could go back to using Visual Studio. But the license, like I said, is almost $27, and that's about $140 more than I can afford to spend. So I'm trying to raise money for that. I'm trying to raise some money for some better cameras. You can see this camera is less than awesome. Everything else is doing good though. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll be doing another stream this evening at about 6 o'clock. Be playing Black Mesa a Half-Life remake, and we're going to be doing some beta testing on that. I guess there's a new beta release of it that I've been told to try out. So come back tonight for some Black Mesa gaming, and tomorrow we'll be continuing on with some HardSense development and rebuilding the partition scheme. So thank you all, and I will see you all later. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Shut up and sit down.